Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to Igcsesuccess. I'm here today with another, let's call them story time. I had some free time last night, so I've written a short story, and I've titled it The School of Dreams. So if you are looking for inspiration for your own narratives, be that for paper 2 or the coursework component, be sure to watch the video until the very end. And I will do my best to put the story somewhere here and hope that everything matches up. The School of Dreams. My new garish backpack was stationed in the corner of my living room. Mum examined me with her hawk-like eyes and straightened my purple striped tie before rearranging the lapel of my school blazer one last time. Beaming with pride, she planted an affectionate kiss on my forehead. Today was the day that I had been dreading, starting a new school. There would be new teachers, new friends, in fact, new everything. Anxiously, I made my way towards the corner of my living room to retrieve my backpack. I had asked Mum to buy me something dark. Black was my choice. She opted to buy me something bright yellow. Great. I flung my backpack over my left shoulder and tried to force out a smile of sorts to please Mum, who was still sitting, beaming with pride. High school, the best years of your life. That's what they say, right? Well, for me, high school was synonymous with the fiery pits of hell, and I wasn't getting out alive. Well, I guess this is it, I said, trying my best to mask my crippling nerves. You'll be fine, trust me, Mum said as she glanced at the clock. I'll pick you up at 3:30. My school bus swiftly arrived, honking its horn. Wow, good going, Mum. My school bag matches the school bus. Nothing like trying to fit in on your first day of a new school. I sighed. Plastered over the side of the bus was Hillstone Valley School, where dreams come true. Yeah, right, I thought to myself. The doors soon flew open, beckoning me to a whole new world. I desperately wanted to move back to my old school. I even said to Mum that I would behave in French class. I was truly a terror in that class, but it was futile. I was here for good. I reluctantly got on the school bus and was greeted by a sea of faces, judging eyes, silence. I tightened the straps of my backpack and gulped. Faint whispers filled the bus. I was the new kid and my yellow backpack did not help matters. Do you mind if I sit here? I said, noticing that a girl with an obnoxiously large bow attached to her head had plonked her bag next to her. Yes, I do mind, she said as she placed her chubby fingers on her pink school bag and proceeded to pat it as if it was her prized possession. The fiery pits of hell. The fiery pits of hell. I made my way towards the back of the school bus. There were a few seats available. Great, I thought. You can sit next to me if you want, said one boy who was stuffing his face with cheese and onion crisps. I cautiously sat beside him, acutely aware of his cheese and onion breath. I cradled my yellow backpack and tried to mentally prepare myself for the day ahead. The boy's name was Joey. He was nice enough. He tried to offer me some crisps. I politely declined. My stomach was in knots and I'm pretty sure that crisps would not remedy the situation. Finally, we had arrived. The school bus stationed itself outside of my new school, and there it was in all of its glory. Hillstone Valley, where dreams come true. I scoffed at the thought. Joey gave me a reassuring nudge before wishing me good luck. I gulped again. Positive thinking, positive thinking. I clambered out of the school bus and made my way towards the school gates. It was time for the first lesson. English. Mrs. Johnson ushered the class in. I scanned the classroom and soon noticed that my name was written on the whiteboard. It was written in cursive handwriting, and it was the most beautiful handwriting I had ever seen. Welcome to Hillstone Valley, Stephen. An unexpected wave of happiness came over me. What a welcome. I looked around the classroom in awe. This wasn't what I expected. Each wall was adorned with portraits of famous writers. There were Shakespeare, Chaucer, Dickens, and even Austen. Mrs. Johnson tapped me on the shoulder and promptly showed me to my seat. I let out a sigh of relief. It was going to be okay. Students' work hung proudly from the ceiling. Inspirational quotes were dotted around the classroom. Bookshelves were crammed with the most magical stories waiting to be read. Mrs. Johnson began elegantly prancing around the room, greeting every student. The buzz in the classroom helped ease my nerves even more. In fact, I felt perfectly at ease. It was an alien feeling, something I certainly didn't expect. Students began talking to me, smiling at me, asking about my life. I felt a part of something once again. Mrs. Johnson soon put us into groups and asked us to write down our own spooky similes. This term, we were going to be learning about Gothic horror. We finished the work quickly and shared our work with the rest of the class. Mrs. Johnson smiled from ear to ear. "That's truly spooktacular," she said, as she tried to contain her own laughter. The school bell soon rang. Mrs. Johnson waved us all goodbye. It was science next. Entering the science lab was like entering a completely unfamiliar world. I didn't have the best memories of science at my old school. My old teacher was called Mr. Crab, and yes, that really was his name, and he was particularly crabby every lesson. This science lab was different though. White lab coats lined the bright blue walls, and a fluorescent lamp which said "Science Rocks" shone brightly above the projector screen. The large periodic table had seen better days, but overall I was impressed. My new science teacher was called Mr. Applebottom. I sniggered. Maybe it was a prerequisite for one to become a science teacher, having a peculiar name. Mr. Applebottom ushered me to my seat and then explained to the class that we were going to be conducting a science experiment. An eruption of cheers followed. Amazing, I thought. I quickly joined the masses and donned my pristine white lab coat. Now I looked like the real deal. Soon, Mr. Applebottom was erratically scribbling instructions on the whiteboard. Safety goggles on. Various hisses and pops could be heard from around the room as students tried their best to follow Mr. Applebottom's instructions. "Sir, I'm not sure if I'm doing this right." A loud bang startled the class. "Well, that's the beauty of science, Sophie. You got it wrong this time. You won't get it wrong again. Have another go." The class cheered in unison. I gritted my teeth and focused all of my energy on getting the measurements just right. I did it. I actually did it. Frothy white foam slowly seeped out from the top of the test tube, which soon turned into something that resembled slime. I was mesmerized. The rest of the day seemed to fly by. Okay, so there were a few dodgy lessons, but I did start to think maybe dreams do happen here at Hillstone Valley. The final school bell rang. Students charged towards the exit in every direction. I tightened the straps of my yellow backpack and joined in. Standing at the gates was Mum. I couldn't help but let out a smile. "I knew you would like it." It was amazing, Mum. Absolutely amazing.